This presentation highlights the relationship of the Stormwater Management Rules and the Municipal Separate Storm Sewer System Permit, also known as the MS4 permit. Specifically, this relationship is supported by the post-construction state basic requirement within the permit. These regulatory measures have been put in place to prevent or minimize pollution to waters of the state by stormwater runoff from certain new development and redevelopment projects. The United States Environmental Protection Agency, also known as the US EPA, published their Phase 2 rules in December of 1999. In turn, the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection, also known as the NJDEP, developed their Municipal Stormwater Regulation Program to regulate the owners and/or operators of municipal separate storm sewer systems through the 2004 New Jersey Pollutant Discharge Elimination System permits, also known as the NJDEP permits. These rules were published on February 2nd of 2004 and were made effective on April 1st of the same year. The owners and/or operators include local, county, state, interstate, and federal government agencies. The purpose of the regulation is to manage the pollutants entering our waters from certain storm drainage systems. There are 4 general stormwater permits that fall within the Municipal Stormwater Regulation Program. The 4 permits are the Tier A, Tier B, Public Complex, and Highway Agency permits. The Tier A permit covers the more densely populated urban areas as well as the coastal municipalities within the state, whereas the Tier B permit covers the much less densely populated rural municipalities. The Public Complex permit covers certain large public colleges or universities, prisons, hospital complexes, and military bases. The Highway Agency permit covers county, state, interstate, or federal agencies that operate small MS4s at a highway or other thoroughfare, such as each of the 21 counties within the state or the New Jersey Department of Transportation, just to name a few. All 4 of the general stormwater permits require development of a Stormwater Pollution Prevention Plan, SPPP, implementation of the statewide basic requirements, SBRs, any additional measures which are defined in each general permit, and the utilization of the new design standard for storm drain inlets. The SPPP describes the municipality's stormwater program and how a municipality will implement each permit requirement, which includes the SBRs and could include additional and optional measures. Within the SPPP, there are multiple forms for record keeping and documenting for when the municipality has met various permit requirements. A sample stormwater pollution prevention plan can be found at the NJDEP's website. The more detailed information included in the SPPP will ease the completion of the annual report and certification that must be submitted each year. The SBR for post-construction stormwater management requires that all permit holders develop, implement, and enforce a program that addresses stormwater runoff from certain new development and redevelopment projects. This is the mechanism that requires that municipalities adopt and ensure implementation of the requirements in the Stormwater Management Rule for municipal plans and ordinances. This section of the permit also requires municipalities to ensure adequate review and long-term operation and maintenance of the best management practices that are built in accordance with the stormwater management requirements. The Tier A, Public Complex, and Highway Agency permittees are required to meet all 9 SBRs seen here, whereas Tier B permittees are only required to meet 2. The SBR for post-construction stormwater management requires a municipality to re-examine their stormwater management plan when they are re-examining their municipal master plan. They should also be aware that they are required to amend the stormwater management plan based on any future requirements. This plan shall be made in accordance with NJAC 7:8 subchapter 4. Within 12 months after the adoption or amending of a municipal stormwater management plan, municipalities must re-adopt the Municipal Stormwater Control Ordinance. This ordinance will control stormwater from non-residential development. The plan and ordinance shall be submitted to the appropriate county review agency for approval. Compliance with the Residential Site Improvement Standards, RSIS, is also a condition of the MS4 permit. The RSIS established statewide requirements for improvements made in connection with residential development and reflectively include the stormwater management rules, just as the previously mentioned stormwater control ordinance does for commercial development. Municipal stormwater management plans and stormwater control ordinances are adopted under the Stormwater Management Act, which is a portion of the Municipal Land Use Law, also known as the MLUL. Any projects subject to the MLUL, such as commercial, industrial, and municipal projects, and are also disturbing 1 acre of land or more, are required to be reviewed by the municipality in accordance with the stormwater management rules. Any projects subject to the requirements in RSIS, such as residential projects, and is also disturbing 1 acre of land or more, are required to be reviewed by the municipality in accordance with the RSIS, which, as previously mentioned, incorporates the stormwater management rules within it. Municipalities are required to ensure that all stormwater best management practices, BMPs, are reviewed, constructed properly and as designed, and maintained in accordance with the stormwater management rules, as well as the BMP manual. In order to grant a variance or exemption from the design and performance standards, a mitigation plan must be in place that identifies what measures are necessary to offset the deficit created by granting the variance or exemption. The plan shall ensure that the mitigation is completed within the drainage area and for the performance standard for which the variance or exemption was granted. Schools are exempt from the stormwater management rules unless a land use permit is required. Public complexes and highway agencies are required to implement and comply with all requirements of the stormwater management rules. Projects are to be reviewed with the same requirements as all other permittees. The only difference is that these entities are self-regulating. Both are still required to ensure that BMPs are reviewed, constructed properly and as designed, and maintained in accordance with the stormwater management rules as well as the BMP manual. All permittees are required to submit a certified annual report on the New Jersey Regulatory Service Portal by a selected stormwater coordinator. If you would like to learn more, please feel free to review the tutorial at the website shown. Retrofitting of existing storm drain inlets to meet the standard identified in the permit is required where such inlets are in direct contact with repaving, repairing, reconstruction, or alterations of facilities owned or operated by the permittee, as well as in any new development or redevelopment. The option for grates in pavement or other ground surfaces is to use the New Jersey Department of Transportation bicycle safe grate, or to use a different grate as long as each clear space in the grate is no bigger than 7 square inches or no bigger than 0.5 inches across the smallest dimension. The option for curb opening inlets is to use an inlet that's clear spaces no bigger than 2 inches across the smallest dimension or no bigger than 7 square inches. There are 4 exemptions to the storm drain inlet retrofitting requirement. These are identified as retrofitting, historic places, alternative device, and hydraulic performance exemptions. The retrofitting exemption is for any project that began construction or was awarded a bid prior to March 3, 2004. It also exempts existing curb opening inlets that have a clear space no larger than 9 square inches. The historic places exemption is for situations where action to meet this standard constitutes an encroachment or will damage or destroy a New Jersey registered listed historic property. The alternative device exemption is for situations where flows are already conveyed through a device that meets certain standards to prevent the delivery of solids and floatable materials. These include a rectangular space 4 5/8 inches long and 1.5 inches wide, a bar screen having a space of 1/2 inch, or a trash rack with 1 inch spacing between parallel bars to the elevation of the water quality design storm. The hydraulic performance exemption is for situations where the municipality determines that the standard would cause inadequate hydraulic performance or flooding. This includes new development and redevelopment projects as well as the retrofitting of existing storm drain inlets. Thank you for watching the Stormwater Management through the Municipal Separate Storm Sewer Permit presentation. For more information, please watch the videos in the Stormwater Management Rules series, which include applicability, stormwater management planning, design and performance standards, and safety standards for stormwater management basins.